This person wants to know why X's are sometimes pronounced as Z's in words like xylophone and xenon. I had to look this up. The short answer is that it's because these words come to English from Greek via French, but the process that they follow to get there is pretty interesting. Let's start by talking about what X is supposed to sound like. And generally in English it is KS, such as the word box. But it can also be GZ. One example is the English word exam. And the reason for this is the same one I gave in my previous video on how the T sound from Greek zeta became a D sound in English Z. They're the same tongue movement, they differ only in the voicing, the vibration in the throat. Because the X in exam occurs in between two vowels, the voicing from the vowels bleeds over into the X, which in phonology we call assimilation. As I mentioned earlier, the word xylophone comes from Greek, and in Greek, like English, they generally pronounce X as KS. The word xylophone is made up of two roots, forgive my pronunciation, xylo, which means wood, and phoni, which means sound, because xylophones were traditionally made of wood. So in Greek, the X in xylophone is pronounced like an X, so how do we get to the Z? And this is where French comes in, because you might have noticed from me trying to pronounce a Greek word that to an English speaker, starting a word with KS is very difficult because it doesn't fit the phonological rules of English. The same thing applies to French. So when they adapted the word from Greek, they changed the pronunciation to fit French phonology. And this involved not only dropping that initial K sound, but also adding the voicing, giving us the French word xylophone, which is how we get the English xylophone. And the same process is how we get the word xenon, which is a gas. It's also frustratingly how we get the name Xerox, which has two X's, one pronounced as Z and one pronounced as KX, because Xerox comes from the word xerography, which is an old word for photocopying, which comes from the Greek for dry writing.